Did you know that over 450 million people play basketball, but only 450 can make the NBA? That means you have less than a 0.0001% chance of making the NBA. But don't worry, because today we're going to figure out what separates the hundreds who make it from the millions who don't, because I'm going to be living and training like an NBA player for 24 hours. So let's go. It is literally 4:30 a.m. and I'm already starting to regret this. So I know there's a lot of questions. Why am I up? What am I doing? And why is my hair like this? But I'm gonna let you in on a top secret. One of my best friends actually played in the NBA. You may have heard of him, Tracy McGrady. And even though I never met him or talked to him, he gave me his training routine that he followed in the off season.
Day will typically look like this for about 4 weeks.
So that takes us directly to the 3 goals of this video. Step 1, stick to the routine without missing a single second. And then the next step, we're going to find out what separates the NBA players from the millions of people who don't make it. And finally, I'm going to answer the most important question. Will I be sticking to this routine?
I'm going to the track at 5 a.m., getting my track work in.
Okay, now it's time to head to the track. It is 5:24 and we just made it to the track. Okay, I lied. We're not on a track. It's actually a field. But there's a lot of space for running. So now what I'm about to do is eat this banana and head over. And I'm not going to show you sick freaks me eating a banana. It is literally 5 a.m. and I'm on this field. It's completely empty. Nobody is here. Seems like it's something straight out of a horror movie. And I really don't feel like running. Plan is for me to jog around this and warm up. It is so early that even the crickets are asleep. I can't hear a thing. Okay, the first workout we're going to do some backward sprints. Right now I'm not sprinting, I'm walking. Hopefully that's obvious. Still warming up. Yeah, this goes on for miles. That should be good. Oh, I gotta stay on the field. Basketball is a condition heavy sport, but the majority of people don't really do a lot of conditioning in their workouts. This is exactly why Coach Carter made his team run before they even practiced any offense. For those of you who can't tell, this is a hill. We're actually going to do some back pedals on this first. But out of the 450 million people who play basketball, how many are actually working on their defense? Not a lot. I finally found someone else who's out here. They're walking their dog, they're not doing conditioning workouts. And if it seems like I'm really only doing backward sprinting, that's because it's better for your knees. That's what I need. Oh, that rhymed. I feel like if I was waking up at 4 a.m. and playing basketball, that would be so much better. But I'm literally doing the complete opposite of what everybody wants to be doing. Only maniacs are out here at this time, running. But the good news is, if you really want to get ahead of people, no one is out here waking up at 4 just to do conditioning. Like, the only 2 people that are up are you and Batman. But he's saving Gotham, so you're good. It's time to switch things up. We're not doing backward sprints anymore. We're going to do lateral sprints. Okay, I'm out of breath. And it's not for the reason you think. So what happened was I was actually doing my sprints, but then I saw something jump from outside of the forest. And I'm not gonna lie, I did not turn around, I just kept sprinting. I grabbed the camera, grabbed my bag, and now we're on the court. But the track workout is still not over. Here's the plan. We're gonna run some suicides over there. A little past 7.
Get home, I'm gonna have breakfast.
And now it's time for me to head back to the crib and refuel and get some breakfast. So we're back home and it's time for breakfast. I'm not really that hungry, so I'm probably just gonna have some yogurt. And all I really want to do right now is take a shower and go right back to sleep for my nap.
I'm gonna take a nap because this is a full day of training.
Okay, so before I go talk to a shower, let me talk to you guys real quick. I know in the beginning I said that you guys only have a 0.0001% chance of playing in the NBA. But how many people are not doing the first step, getting up early and doing some conditioning? I'm willing to bet at least 80% of people aren't doing that. So if you're doing the first step, you're already in the top 20%. And most people are probably waking up around now to go to work or go to school. And even if people are doing the conditioning in the morning, how many of them are actually pushing themselves as hard as they can? I'll be honest, I could probably push myself a little more. But those are just some questions you have to ask yourself if you really want to get ahead. I'm about to go shower and then nap, and I'm gonna see you guys after.
Noon, I am going to the court.
I just woke up and my hair's still a mess, but it doesn't matter because I'm getting ready and we're gonna go straight to the gym to actually play some basketball. One benefit about coming to the gym at this time is there's literally no one here. The goal for today is actually just to go game speed and work on stuff that I'm going to shoot in the game. Start with some ball handling. Ball has no air. Messing up is good. That's how you know you're pushing yourself. You always got to start close to the basket. Oh, that's first attempt. We got it on the camera. Surprisingly, I'm not really sore from the conditioning. I'll probably feel it tomorrow. And the first thing we're going to do is warm up and work on my touch by shooting floaters around the arc. It's time to actually start working. We're going to start with the mid-range pull-ups first. My goal is to hit 5 in a row. And this is like a secret tip I'm sharing with you guys, but one way to improve your shooting is actually to focus on making shots in a row. And for me, it actually helps me have more fun when I'm training. And also, it's a good way to see how much you're improving. Because if you can hit 10 in a row from a spot, you're going to be pretty good at shooting from there. And then the game is going to be easier. Now we got to hit the other side.
A few moments later.
And for the players who are more advanced, you can also try to swish shots in a row. So a goal could be to have 5 perfect swishes in a row, or else it doesn't count. This is flat out just going to force you to get better, because you're forcing yourself to be perfect in practice. And in the game, you're going to have a lot more confidence because you worked harder in training. But you guys don't have to take my word for it. Go practice it out and see for yourself. Oh, bounced in there. We just got done with the mid-range shots. Now it's time to work on catch and shoot threes. But first, I'm gonna try something. Those of you who don't know, I'm also on my dunk journey. Kind of want to test how high I can get on the rim. No matter what happens, I'm not gonna make any excuses. Even though I did a conditioning workout, I've been hooping. Hold up, those are excuses. That was bad. I might have scraped it on that one. So I think I touched the rim on one of these jumps. Now that we got that side quest out of the way, it's time to actually work on my shooting. And so my goal for these drills is to hit 3 in a row. And there's 6 shots that I'm going to shoot. The corner drift, curl, and a transition pull-up. And then I also have to hit them again on the other side. And I'm only showing my makes because if I show the misses, the video will be a little too long. But the whole workout took around 90 minutes. Or 2 hours if you want to count the warming up and ball handling too. Which is a little long, but it's probably because I didn't have a rebounder. Now we gotta do all of them on the other side. And I think it's time to talk about how bad those jumps were. I really want to say it's because I was tired, but I don't want to give that excuse. So what I'm gonna do instead is actually continue to work and get better on my dunk journey. And you guys can click over there to see daily updates of my training. We got the shooter's touch. That's the end of the workout. Now we gonna hit some free throws and call it. Last shot of the day.
Go home, grab me some lunch.
Now since we got 2 workouts done and I ain't really eat too much of a breakfast, it's time to actually get a good meal in. It's probably like lunch / breakfast, brunch, whatever. Let's do it. There's been a slight change of plans. I'm about to actually do some stretching and isometrics right now before I eat so that I'm not too sore at night for my lift. Yes, another workout. It's time to eat the first meal of the day. We got eggs and pizza. Okay, hold on. Before y'all go insane, let me explain. So for breakfast, I usually eat like eggs and oatmeal, or eggs and waffle, or pancakes, or toast. But we just had pizza last night and there's some leftovers, so eggs and pizza. It's not that bad. And yes, I am eating on a ping pong table. Don't ask. Guys, it's time to have the talk. And as you guys know, when we first started this day, we had 3 goals. To follow the schedule perfectly, and so far we're doing a good job with that. Next, we have to figure out what separates the NBA players from the rest. And as we learned, only 20% of people are actually working on their conditioning. And now it's time to drop that percentage even lower. Because we have to ask ourselves, how many people are actually playing basketball every day? Yeah, not a lot. Of those people that are playing, how many of them are actually putting in work and not just playing pickup or just randomly shooting around? It drops a little lower, doesn't it? And finally, how many of the people who are actually putting in the work are doing the correct things? See, basketball is pretty simple. The majority of the shots you're going to get 80% of the time are going to be catch and shoot, pull up, floaters, and layups. But that's also the most boring stuff to practice, which is exactly why most people don't practice that. They want to practice the cool shots like the step backs, fadeaways, but they want to ignore the basics. You can kind of begin to see how a lot of people aren't doing what it actually takes to get to that level. So it makes sense why there's only 400 people in the NBA. But this is actually a good thing, because now that you know what a lot of people aren't doing, you know exactly what you have to do to get to that top percentage. And we can't even forget that the day isn't over, because we have 1 more workout to go. But before then, this is actually the time for me to rest.
Then I'm gonna relax for a few hours.
And what I'm going to do is first take a shower. Would you guys want to see that? That was a test. You guys failed. Anyways, after that, I'm actually going to watch some film and do some editing. And I'm gonna see you guys later in the day.
And my last workout is at like 7:30 at night, to where I did my skill work. So now I'm gonna get some weights in, get stronger.
Alright guys, it's around 7. We finally got to our final workout of the day. And since it's the last workout, we gotta go hard and we're gonna have a leg day. For the first workout, we're gonna go backwards on the treadmill to warm up. Again. Time to start lifting. First workout, what we're doing is actually the ATG split squat. For my workouts, I also usually do a lot of plyometrics in the beginning, but since I've done so much sprinting and jumping today, I'm not going to do all that. I got some bad news. During my last set, my camera wasn't on, so I got to do it again. This is getting tough. We got to go back to those percentages. How many of the people that want to play at the next level are actually lifting weights? And when they're lifting weights, are they really pushing themselves? And you guys are probably wondering why I'm sitting down. Well, it's because we're doing the seated good morning. I'm actually regretting doing this challenge. But we're almost done. You guys are wondering where I'm getting these workouts. I'm getting them from Ben Patrick, aka Knees Over Toes guy. You know it'll be so annoying if I accidentally wake up at 4 again tomorrow. Can't do that. Before we go on, I gotta give a special thanks to my good friend Tracy McGrady for providing me this workout routine. But he would only do this for 4 weeks, so that is something to keep in mind. He wasn't doing this every single day.
This for about 4 weeks, man.
I'm procrastinating. I gotta hit this last set. I am tired. Alright guys, we made it to the end, and now this is probably the most important part, the stretching. Especially because I don't want to wake up sore tomorrow, but I have a feeling that's probably going to happen. There's one more thing I have left to do. It's time to have the talk. Again. And since we're coming to the end of the day, I think we can finally answer the question about what separates the NBA players from the 450 millions of people who don't make it. And what it really comes down to is consistently doing the things that you know you should be doing, like conditioning, lifting, getting shots up, eating well, sleeping right, stretching, watching film, and all the other stuff in between. Truth is, this is very simple, but simple doesn't mean easy. That's probably why the majority of people will not be doing this. But this is actually some good news, because since the majority of people are not going to do what it takes, you don't have to worry about competition or beating the odds, because they're actually in your favor, as long as you do the stuff that you're supposed to. And the other good news is, there's over 100,000 opportunities to play professional basketball somewhere else. Nowadays, people can even be content creators and make money playing basketball. And not to mention the countless opportunities to make a living doing what you love. But in order for you to get there, you just have to focus on showing up every single day and trying to improve. Now it's time for me to answer the most important question. Will I be continuing this routine? And the answer is, hell no! But that's because my goal is to improve my athleticism, because I'm too short and too small. And it cost me $10,000. You guys can go watch that video right here, and thank you so much for taking the time out to watch my video.